comes in like a guest that nobody invited. The clarinet said it wasn't minding, actually delighted. A man looked up and saw the light had changed while he was reading. The bass walked in below the changing, gently interceding. The room went amber at the edges, soft along the wall. The piano came in warm behind the amber, barely there at all. No announcement in the coming, no knock upon the frame, just the evening like a guest that always comes the same. The bass walks through the amber softness, patient, warm and slow. The piano keeps its gentle amber in the evening glow. A lamp comes on above the counter, nobody reached to switch. The clarinet wins through the lamplight without a single hitch. Voices drop a little lower, somehow always do. The trumpet says the gentle something about the amber through. See the cafe turn to amber, soft from wall to wall. The bass walks on below the amber, catching it all. No winter in arriving, no asking it to stay, just the evening like a guest at the end of day. The clarinet wins through the gentleness of an amber room. The piano hums the kind of evening that arrives too soon. By 7 every table has its own small glow. The bass walks on below the glowing, the way the evenings go. No story in the arriving, no moment to explain, just the evening like a guest that always comes again. The trumpet says its last soft word into the amber air. The clarinet wins one final circle through the lamplight there. The piano holds the last soft amber against the cooling night. The bass takes its last slow step into the fading light. The evening like a guest sits down without a sound. The softest kind of company is always to be found. The candle knows the room by heart, every shadow and wall. The clarinet said it softly to no one and to all. A man beside the candle, his face in the warm. The bass walked in below the warmth, far from any storm. The flame moved once and settled, knew exactly where. The piano came in soft behind the knowing, barely in the air. No map inside the burning, no learning of the room, just a candle that knows everything inside its gentle bloom. The bass walks through the knowing, soft and round and low. The piano keeps its gentle candle in the evening glow. A shadow on the ceiling, slow and without weight. The clarinet winds through the shadow, soft and almost late. The flame leans toward the window, feels the faintest air. The trumpet says the soft thing about the knowing there. See the room held by the candle, soft from wall to wall. The bass walks on below the holding, catching it all. No stranger in the burning, no asking of the dark, just the candle that knows the room by every light and mark. The clarinet winds through the warmth of a room long known. The clarinets through the warmth of a room long known. The piano hums the kind of evening where the candle finds its home. By midnight just the wax remains, the knowing nearly done. The bass walks on below the nearly, under no more sun. No story in the knowing, no moment to explain, just a candle that knew the room and will know it once again. The trumpet says its last soft word about the things that know. The piano holds the gentle candle of an evening long and slow. The bass takes its last soft step, the flame leans once and stills. The candle that knew the room by heart always will. Something warm before the day decides what kind of day it'll be. The clarinet said it quietly to nobody but me. A man with no particular plans, his jacket on a hook, The bass walked in below the nothing with a patient look. The window holds the early sky, still making up its mind. The piano came in soft behind him, leaving gray behind. No knowing of the morning, no reading of the signs, just something warm before the day falls into its lines. The bass walks through the early, soft and round and slow. A second cup arrives unbidden, set without a sound. The clarinet wins through the offering, soft and going round. Outside a door opens somewhere, somebody begins. The trumpet says the gentle something about the day that wins. See the cafe hold the early, soft and open wide. The bass walks on below, the holding warm on every side. No asking of the weather, no checking of the sky, just something warm before the day goes quietly by. The clarinet wins through the openness of an undecided hour. By 10 the day has chosen, gone one way or another. The bass walks on below the choosing, like a quiet brother. No story in the waiting, no moment to explain, just something warm before the day and the morning and the pain. The trumpet says the last soft word about the undecided. The piano holds the gentle morning of the still one-sided. The bass takes its last soft step. The day goes on ahead. Something warm before it all was everything instead.
The linden trees know first when the warm has come to stay. The clarinet said as much at the beginning of the day. A man beneath the branches with his jacket on the chair. The bass walked in below the lindens, moving through the air. Petals not yet fallen, green still finding form. The piano came in warm behind them, keeping something warm. No asking of the season, no doubt inside the lane, just the linden trees already knowing spring had come again. The clarinet winds upward through the canopy of green. The bass walks on below the branches, through everything between. A child points up at something moving in the leaves. The trumpet comes in easy on the back of a breeze. voices underneath the lindens, light across the stone. The piano keeps the morning open, like it always known. See the branches hold the morning, green and white and clear. The bass walks on below the canopy, through the time of year. No winter in the knowing, no gray above the green, just the linden trees already certain of what spring will mean. Someone reads below the branches, pages in the light. The bass walks on below the reading, warm and sure and right. The piano hums the kind of certainty that only lindens know. The clarinet says what the branches say to everything below. A bicycle goes through the shadow, out into the sun. The trumpet lifts above the lindens, saying spring has won. No story in the knowing, no moment to explain, just the linden trees already certain, standing in the lane. The bass walks out from under branches, into open sky. The clarinet follows just behind it, not yet saying goodbye. The piano holds the green and golden, the trumpet fades above. The linden trees keep their knowing, full of something close to love. Somebody brought flowers again and left them by the door. The clarinet said it first, because it always saw a jar of something yellow set beside the wall. The bass walked in below the yellow, through the morning hall. Nobody claimed the bringing, nobody left a name. The piano came in bright behind the flowers, treating them the same. No card beside the yellow, no note upon the floor. Just somebody brought the flowers and left them by the door. The bass walks past the yellow jar, warm and round and slow. The piano keeps the bright thing going, letting morning go. A woman stops to smell them, straightens them a touch. The clarinet wins through the yellow, not saying very much. The waiter moves them to the counter, better in the light. The trumpet says the easy something about the yellow right. See the cafe sit beside them, bright and without name. The bass walks on below the brightness, everything the same.
No story in the giving, no reason to find out. Just somebody brought the flowers, what the yellow is about. The clarinet wins through the tenderness the jar of flowers holds. The piano hums the kind of morning that a yellow jar enfolds. By afternoon a petal falls, nobody picks it up. The bass walks on below the falling through the warming cup. No asking who will bring them again next week or so. The trumpet lifts one final phrase into the morning glow. No hurry in the leaving, no name to rearrange. Just somebody brought the flowers and nothing needed to change. The trumpet fades above the yellow, the clarinet wins free. The piano holds a bright and unnamed as it ought to be. The bass takes its last warm step, the flowers hold the light. Somebody brought the flowers again and made the morning right.
The last light stays for spring, the way it never did before. The trumpet said it to the square, and the square said nothing more. A man still at his outside table, jacket on the chair. Bass walked in below the golden, soft into the air. The lamppost hadn't come on yet, the sky still holding blue. The piano came in warm behind the evening, carrying it through. No hurry in the staying out, no chill inside the lane. Just the last light keeping longer for the spring again. The bass walks through the golden hour, every step still warm. The trumpet hums the evening something far from any storm. Folds her book at last, looks up at the sky. The clarinet comes winding softly with a warm goodbye. Children called home from the square, their voices light and thin. The piano keeps the golden going as the lamps begin. See the sky hold blue a moment longer than it should.
The bass walks on below the blue, the way the evening would. No winter in the standing out, no memory of gray. Just the last light staying longer at the end of a spring day. A bicycle light flickers on along the narrow lane. The bass walks on below the flickering, warm as afternoon rain. The piano hums the kind of evening only spring can give. The clarinet says what the long light means to everyone who lives. A coat collected from the railing, someone says goodnight. The trumpet lifts one final phrase into the fading light. No story in the staying late, no ending to pursue. Just the last light staying longer, and the spring the whole way through. The bass walks home below the lamplight, the claret winds above. The trumpet fades into the evening, full of something close to love. The piano holds the last blue moment before the dark comes through. The last light stays for spring, and spring stays too. The second cup nobody ordered arrived beside the first. The trumpet said it saw it coming before anyone had thirst. A man looked at it sideways, then looked at the waiter's back. The bass walked in below the looking, down the easy track. The waiter moved on without a word, another table turned. The piano came in warm beside the extra for the thing it earned. No asking of the bringing, no note beside the cup. Just the second cup nobody ordered, sitting full and up. The bass walks round the extra cup, patient, warm and slow. The piano keeps the curious going, letting morning go. He drank it anyway by noon, set it with the first. The clarinet came winding through the drinking of the unordered thirst. The bill came with just one cup on it, the waiter never said. The trumpet hums the comfortable something about the extra bread. See the cafe carry on around the small mistake. The bass walks on below the caring, for nobody's sake. No story in the extra, no reason to explain.
Just the second cup nobody ordered, coming round again. The clarinet wins through the amusement of the unrequested gift. The piano hums the kind of morning that a small mistake can lift. By afternoon he wonders if he should have said, the bass walks on below the wondering, through the warming thread. No asking of the waiter, no moment to pursue, just the second cup nobody ordered, and the morning coming through. The trumpet says the last warm word about the things we get. The piano holds the comfortable extra of a morning not quite yet. The bass takes its last warm step, the cups sit clean and clear. The second cup nobody ordered was exactly what was needed here.
Windows open all the way for the first time since fall. The trumpet set it to the street and the street set it to all. A man leaned out above the lane, his coffee in his hand. The bass walked in below the morning like it had been planned. Curtains lifting wide and easy, reaching for the square. The piano came in bright behind them, filling up the air. No reason left to keep them shut, no chill inside the frame. Just the windows open all the way and the spring that finally came. The bass walks through the open rooms, light from wall to wall. The trumpet leads the morning forward down the open hall. A woman hangs the washing out above the narrow lane. The clarinet comes winding upward like a warm refrain. Voices crossing window to window, easy in the heat. The piano keeps the bright thing going down the waking street. See the morning fill the rooms, now every corner lit. The bass walks on below the brightness, perfectly to fit. No winter in the curtains, no memory of cold. Just the windows open all the way and the morning bright and bold. The trumpet finds the highest phrase it had been saving long. The piano follows close behind it into the open song. A bicycle goes by below, its bell a single ring. The piano says what the open windows mean about the spring. No story in the opening, no moment to explain. Just the windows finally open and the warm sun in the The waiter who remembers everything arrives before you ask.
The trumpet said it had watched him at his easy daily task. A man sits at his usual place, the cup already there. The bass walked in below the knowing through the afternoon air. No menu passed across the table, no question from the floor. The piano played the comfortable thing about the knowing more. No asking in the sitting, no order left to place. Just the waiter who remembers every cup and face. The bass walks through the memory of it, warm and round and long. The trumpet hums the easy something of a well-remembered song. A woman comes in at the door, he nods before she speaks. The clarinet comes winding through the knowledge of the weeks. 2 cups arrive without a word, set in the right place. The piano keeps the warm thing going at a knowing pace. See the cafe fill around him, table afternoon. The bass walks on below the filling through the comfortable zone. No surprise inside the service, no stranger at the door. Just the waiter who remembers what you came here for. He refills without a glance down, walks on without a pause. The piano hums the comfortable rhythm of the afternoon laws. The clarinet wins through the tables, knowing every chair. The bass walks on below the service, through the knowing air. A new face at the corner table, he studies it once through. The trumpet says by next week Thursday he will know that too. No story in the knowing, no moment to explain. Just the waiter who remembers coming round again. The bass walks to the corner, the clarinet follows on. The trumpet fades above the tables into the afternoon gone. The piano holds the last warm knowing, the cups stay full and near. The waiter who remembers everything will still be here next year. Three steps to the corner table, the waiter knows them well. The trumpet counted every morning by the sound and smell. A man sat at his corner, coat upon the hook. The bass walked in beside the 3 steps with a knowing look. The waiter turned at the 2nd step, the order half prepared. The piano came in warm between them because it always cared. No map inside the cafe, No sign above the floor, just 3 steps to the corner table, and the knowing more. The bass walks those 3 steps daily, patient, warm, and known. The piano keeps the certain morning of a well-worn stone. A new face tries the corner once, finds it already claimed. The clarinet comes winding round the 3 steps, easy and unnamed. The regular arrives at 9, the corner waiting still. The trumpet says the comfortable thing about the morning will. See the cafe turn around it, 3 steps at its heart. The bass walks on below the turning, playing its small part. No asking of the corner, no reason to explain, just 3 steps to the corner table, always there again. The clarinet wins round the certainty the corner holds so well. The piano hums the kind of morning only corners tell. By noon the corners had 3 sittings, each one at its ease. The bass walks on below the sittings, through the warming breeze. No story in the knowing, no moment to presume, just 3 steps to the corner table in the warming room. The trumpet says the last warm word about the paths we wear. The piano holds the comfortable morning of a corner chair. The bass takes its last 3 steps, the claret wins home. 3 steps to the corner table, and nobody goes alone. The light that comes through at 4 hits the counter just so. A trumpet had been watching it since the morning's early blow. The man lifts up his cup, and to the golden band the bass walked in below the lifting with a patient hand. The dust turns gold inside it, slow above the floor. The piano came and warm behind the golden neckskin, nothing more. No planning in the hitting, no clock above the world, just the light that comes through at 4, giving gold to all. The bass walks through the golden bend, warm and round and stall. The piano keeps the amber going in the afternoon glow. A woman turns her face to it, closes both her eyes. The clarinet comes winding through the golden like a warm surprise. Dust settles on the counter, gold against the wood. The trumpet says the afternoon thing about the light and good. See the cafe sit inside it, goes from wall to wall. The bass walks on below the golden, catching it all. No asking when it fades, no holding what it brings, just the light that comes through at 4, and all its golden things. The clarinet wins through the amber, tender, slow and near. The piano hums the kind of afternoon that only 4 can clear. The half-past 4, it shifts away, the counter back to wood. The bass walks on below the shifting, the way the bass understood. No stowing in the heading, no reason to explore, just a light that comes through at 4 and then comes back no more. The light that comes through at 4, a clarinet winds low. The light that comes through at 4.
Two sugars and a window seat, the same as every day. The piano knew the order before he had to say. A man who comes at 9:30, his coat upon the hook. The bass walked in below the habit with a knowing look. The waitress brought it without asking, set it in its place. The trumpet said the comfortable thing about a familiar face. No deciding in the sitting, no menu left to read, just 2 sugars and a window seat, and everything agreed. The bass walks through the familiarity, round and warm and known. The piano keeps the bright thing going like a well-worn stone. Outside the usual people pass, the usual sounds arise. The clarinet comes in above it all with easy knowing eyes. He stirs his cup the same 3 times, sets the spoon aside. The trumpet hums the comfortable thing about the morning tide. See the window hold the street outside, the way it always does. The bass walks on below the sameness, finding what it was. No surprise inside the sitting, no newness on the chair. Just 2 sugars and a window seat, and the easy morning air. The clarinet wins through the comfort of an own and certain place. The piano hums below the window at a morning pace. The cup goes down, the paper opens, everything in place. The bass walks on below the order at a familiar pace. No story in the knowing, no moment to pursue. Just 2 sugars and a window seat, and the morning coming through. The trumpet fades above the window, the clarinet winds down. The bass walks on below the comfort through the waking town. The piano holds the last familiar chord, the cup goes cold and clear. 2 sugars and a window seat, the same time every year.
April doesn't hurry, doesn't need to try. The piano knew it from the start beneath the open sky. A man with his hat pushed back the sun against his face. The bass walked in below the April at an April pace. Blossoms on the corner tree, opening one by one. The trumpet said the April thing about the climbing sun. No rushing in the season, no forcing of the bloom. Just the April moving gently through the morning room. The bass walks through the patience of it, warm and round and slow. The piano keeps the bright thing easy, letting April go. A cat beside the flower cart watches people pass. The clarinet comes winding through the morning, easy as the grass. Someone stops to smell the blossom, stands a little while. The trumpet says the patient thing about the April mile. See the morning open slowly, petal after petal wide. The bass walks on below the April, warm on every side. No forcing of the feeling, no asking it to stay. Just the April moving gently through an ordinary day. The clarinet winds through the blossom tree, easy and unhurried still. The piano hums the kind of patience only April will. A bicycle goes slowly by, no particular direction.
The bass walks on below the slowness with the same perfection. Voices at the corner table, warm and without weight. The trumpet lifts one final phrase into the open late. No story in the April, no ending to assume. Just the month that doesn't hurry, opening into bloom. The bass walks on through all the petals, the clarinet winds above. The piano holds the April open, full of something close to love. The trumpet fades above the blossom, the bass takes its last step through. April doesn't hurry, and neither should you.
Evening comes slowly in spring, later than before. The piano noticed it arriving softly at the door. A man still at his table, though the lamps came on. The bass walked in below the lamplight, carrying the gong. The square still held some people, chairs still in the sun. The trumpet said the evening thing about the day not done. No hurry in the evening, no chill inside the air. Just the spring that kept the daylight longer than its share. The bass walks through the golden hour, warm on every side. The piano keeps the evening easy, wide and open wide. A woman folds her newspaper, orders one thing more. The clarinet comes winding softly through the open door. Bicycle lights beginning, one by one along the lane. The trumpet hums the evening something warm as afternoon rain. See the square hold on to daylight, every table bright. The bass walks on below the golden into the coming night. No winter in the evening, no memory of gray. Just the spring that kept the sun a little more today. The piano finds the warmest phrase, it's saved for evening time. The clarinet says what the long day means in something close to rhyme. A child runs home below the lamplight, calling as she goes. The bass walks on beneath the calling. The way the evening knows, no story in the staying late, no reason to move on. Just the spring evening coming slowly long after afternoon is gone. trumpet says goodnight so gently, no one needs to hear. The piano holds the warmest chord of all the passing year. The bass takes its last evening step, the clarinet sighs above. The spring evening comes in slowly, full of something close to love.